Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balarāma Giribharadhari Gopi Jana Balarāma Giribharadhari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Chamunadira Vanachari Chamunadira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Sarvaiva Jagacharya Stitisara Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 65, verses 32 to 34. We will finish this chapter today. So I will read verse 32, 33, and 34. We will chant together. Verse 32. Mālāṁ āmucya kāñcanīm reje sv-alaṅkṛto lipto Mahendra iva vāraṇaḥ. Lord Balarāma dressed himself in the blue garments and put on the gold necklace. Anointed with fragrances and beautifully adorned, he appeared as resplendent as Indra's royal elephant. Purport. Anointed with sandalwood paste and other pure, fragrant substances, Balarāma resembled Airavata, the great elephant of Lord Indra. Text 33. Adyapi drishyate rajan yamana krishna varmana valasyanantiviryasya viryam sucha yativahi. Translation. Even today, O king, one can see how the Jamuna flows through the many channels created when it was dragged by the unlimitedly powerful Lord Balarāma. Thus, she demonstrates his prowess. Okay, so this is text 34, and we will do this together. Evam sarva nishayata ekvā ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya mātūyāyavajyoshitam evam sarvanishayata ekeva ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya mātūyāyavajyoshitam evam sarvanishayata ekeva ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya mātūyāyavajyoshitam. Chant. Evam sarvanishayata ekeva ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya mātūyāyavajyoshitam. Evam sarvanishayata ekeva ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya mātūyāyavajyoshitam. Nishayata ekeva ramato reje ramasya kshipta chittasya Mataji Rajayoshitam. Eva Sarva Ishayata. Ekeva Ramato Reje. Amasya Shipchipasya. Mataji Rajayoshitam. Sarva Ishayata. Ekeva Ramato Reje. Ramasya Shiptachitasya. Mataji Rajayoshitam. Evam, in this manner, Sarvaha, all, Nishaha, the nights, Yattaha, past, Eka, one, Eva, as if, Ramataha, who was enjoying, Reje, and Raja, Ramasya, for Lord Balarāma, Akshipta, enchanted, Chittasya, whose mind, Madhurya, by the exquisite charm and beauty, Rajayoshitam, of the women of Raj. Translation. Thus, for Lord Balarāma, all the nights passed like a single night as he enjoyed in Braj, his mind enchanted by the exquisite charm and beauty of Raja's young ladies. Purport. Lord Balarāma was enchanted by the charming pastimes of the beautiful young ladies of Raj. Thus, each night was a completely new experience, and all the nights passed as if they were a single night. Wakam karati vachalam bangam lankatekirim yakipantraham bande shikurantitagina āmucya mirandasya ganantarashakaya chakshuramitam yena tasamai shikarave namaha. So, since this is the end of the chapter, what I'm going to do is give you highlights of all the previous classes that we heard from different devotees. So in case you weren't there, you won't miss it. You won't miss anything. You'll find out everything today, whatever you missed. So a couple of days, I think day before yesterday, we heard from Vaisheshika about how Balarāma gets intoxicated. We learned all about intoxication, material and spiritual. So actually, Sri Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion, he describes intoxication. Can you imagine? Nectar of Devotion. So here is what intoxication is, the definition according to Sri Rupa Goswami. When one becomes arrogant with false prestige due to drinking intoxicants, the voice becomes faulty. The eyes become swollen, and there are symptoms of redness on the body. There is a statement in Lita Madhava, Lord Baladev, intoxicated from drinking excessive quantities of honey, once began to address the ants. Oh, you king of the ants, why are you hiding yourself in your holes? And Indra started shouting at Indra, hey, you plaything of Sachi, why are you laughing at me? I can destroy the whole universe and Krishna won't be angry with me. So then he asked Krishna, why has the moon become elongated? And how come the whole world is shaking and trembling? And please give me back my liquor, my honey. I'm not finished yet. And so Rupa Goswami says that he prays that Lord Balarāma will be pleased with all of us while he's talking like an intoxicated person. And an interesting thing that Rupa Goswami says that he was drinking honey made from kadamba flowers. So there's different kinds of intoxicants. It's not just Varuni. You can get it from kadamba flowers too. So this is There's variety in the spiritual world too, just like there's so many intoxicants here, in the spiritual world too, at least for Lord Balarāma, maybe not for all of us. So Rupa Goswami describes that, in this case, Balarāma, he felt tired and he went to sleep. And Rupa Goswami describes 3 kinds of people who get intoxicated. Those who are exalted lie down when they feel intoxicated. I don't know why exalted people get intoxicated, but anyway, that's what he says. Those who are mediocre laugh and sing. And those who are lowly use vulgar language and cry. And so, yes, Balarāma, in that case, he was lying down, but in this case, he was angry with Jamuna. So, yes, he also has different moods. Now, sometimes if you look at Balarāma carefully over here, you can see his eyes are reddish. So if you see that red look in his eyes, you will know what's happening with Balarāma over here. Yes. So now, Dinabandhu Prabhu, when he gave class about a week ago, he was quoting from Bhakti Ratnakar, describing Ramghat. Ramghat is the place where Balarāma had Raslila and where he also instructed Krishna's gopis. And he said Balarāma's the second body of Krishna, gentle, forbearing. And he came to Vraj from Dwarka to meet the residents of Vrindavan, and he stayed 2 months, Chaitra and Vaishak, mid-March to mid-May. He consoled Krishna's gopis. He brought messages from Krishna. And the acharyas say that while he was speaking to Krishna's gopis, he called Krishna. Krishna came in his mind, and Krishna spoke directly. And they were feeling, Krishna's gopis were feeling, oh, Krishna's talking to us. Krishna's right here, and he's talking to us. So they could feel that, and Krishna actually came. And he came in the mind. Balarāma called him. Now, Balarāma also had his own gopis, and he was dancing with them in Raslila this time, and also in the spring, when Krishna was here, they had their Raslila, both of them. So in Krishna Chaitanya Charita, Murari Gupti says, just see, here's the place where Rama and Krishna danced Raslila, and they had Holi also. Balarāma also did Holi. He does all the things Krishna does, because he's the second body of Krishna, decorated with gold and jewels. And yes, how many gopis does Balarāma have? Well, according to Bhakti Ratnakar, he has millions. But in the spiritual world, there's probably many more, trillions, billions, who knows how many? Because it's the spiritual world. Yeah, even here, it was who was that? Ugrasena had quadrillion bodyguards. Where are they going to fit in Dwarka? But spiritual bodies are different than material bodies. They don't take up so much room. So yeah, his gopis were all there, dancing with him at Ramghat. So he was very happy, and there was beautiful breezes coming. The flowers, all the gardens were full bloom. The full moon was there for Balarāma too. He also danced on the full moon night. And yes, and everyone was charmed by Balarāma. Every movement, they were watching every movement. Just like when Prabhupada was here, we were charmed by his every movement. We couldn't get our eyes off of him because he was not moving according to this material world. He gave one class. There was a video of his class, and in South India, one dance teacher showed this video to his students, and one devotee was there. He gave him the video, and he said, "Just see, Srila Prabhupada. He has shown all the mudras in this one class. The one, just naturally, he was showing all the mudras." And so, it's a fine art. This dance, this Raslila, there's mudras, there's ragas, there's all kind of things going on here. And then the background is there. It's like we have our backdrops. So the whole scene was just for Balarāma to enjoy. He had a jeweled crown and a Vaijayanti garland. He also wears Vaijayanti, just like Krishna. And how white is Balarāma? It's described. If you look at camphor, Balarāma's whiter. If you look at a conch shell, Balarāma is whiter. And if you look at the snow-covered mountains, Balarāma is whiter. And so his eyes are restless. He's always looking here and there, and his eyebrows are dancing. So this is what's going on. It's a whole drama going on here at Balarāma's Ras Lila. And his feet are reddish, just like Krishna's, and his toenails are very bright and take away all the darkness of the night. Now, Bhagavatam describes in the 5th canto, 17th chapter, verse 21, that for persons with impure vision, the Supreme Lord's eyes appear like someone who indiscriminately drinks intoxicating beverages. He may give you darshan sometime, Balarāma, over there. And so you'll know if his eyes are reddish and he doesn't look quite the same as usual. He's been enjoying. And such unintelligent persons, they become angry. But then Balarāma becomes angry, and he looks like they think Balarāma is angry with me. And when they see him like that. So the verse says that when the wives of the serpent demon were agitated by the touch of Balarāma's lotus feet, due to shyness, they could proceed no further in their worship. So what's happening at the bottom of the universe where Lord Ananta is lying? It's the place of all the snakes. Patala Loka. All the snakes are living there. And Anantadev, he's very attractive to all the snake girls. And they worship him. And what happened, Garga Muni gave them away 5 methods to worship Lord Balarāma. And they followed it, and they became gopis. So some of the gopis who were dancing with Balarāma are the snake girls from Patala Loka. Yes, they got attracted. Because actually the snakes can also change forms. They can also come in the form of human beings. And Ananta also, he has another form, Sankarshan, with 4 hands. And so he can be worshipped in that way also. So after drinking his honey, Balarāma became maddened. And he began his Raslila with the gopis. Some of the gopis played mridanga, some played veena, and other instruments. So yes, all of them they're not just dancing. Some of them are singing, some of them are doing the music, and some of them are dancing. Singing, dancing, and music all goes together. And so then, of course, Balarāma, he wanted to swim in the Jamuna River. He got angry with her, and she wouldn't come. She wouldn't come. Yeah, because she said, you're drunk, I'm not listening. So therefore, he pulled her close to him. And this is, Srila Prabhupada explains this in Krishna book, that voluntarily she won't come, so forcefully he took her to him. He says, I'll teach you a lesson. You didn't come to me, now I'll force you to come. And so we should not force Krishna we should go voluntarily. It's easier, it's better. It's better. I think there was one, in Juhu, Bombay, there was one god sister, Maithili, and they were attacking the temple, and they were attacking the deities, actually. They destroyed the whole temple, and they were about to go for the deities. And then she was standing, she's a big girl too, she was standing in front, holding onto 2 poles, trying to protect the deities. And so the police took her by the hair and dragged her to the wagon, and she was kicking and screaming. And Prabhupada found out, and he said, yes, we will take you kicking and screaming back to Godhead. So yes, sometimes Krishna forces us to surrender. Yesterday in class, Navina was saying, yes, we should surrender. It's very good, and we should do it voluntarily. And also in Vrindavan, it's good to be austere. Otherwise, if you're not austere, Krishna will force you. if you go and eat anything outside, overeat, you'll get the reaction. He will force you to be austere. So one interesting thing that we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this pastime is mentioned. One time, Lord Chaitanya got in the mood of Balarāma. And he sat down in the hall of a Vishnu temple, and he started calling, "Bring me honey, bring me honey." And so Nityananda came. He brought him a pot of Ganga water, and he put it in front of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya drank it. He got intoxicated. He started dancing in ecstasy, and everyone was seeing the pastime of Balarāma attracting Jamuna. And he kept asking, "Bring me more honey, bring me more honey." And in his ecstasy, he was asking everyone to bring him honey. And so after drinking, then he tried to get Jamuna to come near also. And so, yes, this was happening. And we heard the Jayadev Goswami's song also, where he describes this, that vāsasī vipushi vishade vasanam jaladabam halati vita milita yamanabam keshavadvita halatara rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare. So Lord Chaitanya was like Balarāma. He was moving around like he was intoxicated by the Ganga water honey. And Advaita saw him. He saw the form of Balarāma. And Lord Chaitanya changed to the form of Balarāma. And another one, Valamali Acharya, saw a golden plow in his hand. And so everyone was dancing for 12 hours, all the devotees. And in the evening, they took baths in the Ganga and went back home. So Balarāma, he's Adi Guru. He's there to help us. So in the Bhāgavatam 7.15.45, there is a verse which says, Gyana asim achyuta bala. Gyana, asim means the sword of knowledge. Asim is sword, Gyana means knowledge. Krishna gives us the sword of knowledge, achyuta. And then Bala gives us the strength to hold the sword of knowledge. So how do we sharpen the sword of knowledge? By following instructions of the spiritual master. Then we can sharpen the sword of knowledge. So Balarāma is, of course, Nityananda, Rajendra Nandana, Sheshati Shuta Valese, Balarāma, Hoya, Nitai. Yes. So we're very fortunate. We have Krishna Balarāma and we have Gaura-Nitai here, and they're the most merciful, and they can give us shelter at their lotus feet. So Prabhupada says in this purport that one should accept the sword of knowledge from Krishna and be strong with the mercy of Balarāma. And so therefore we're worshipping Krishna Balarāma. So we get the strength to hold the sword. Sometimes you have a lot of knowledge in your head, but you don't know how to apply it. And so Balarāma will give you that strength to take it from your head to your heart and to your senses, so you can actually act in devotional service. And without Balarāma, we can't get Radha and Krishna. Without Nitai. Narayani says, Nitaya karuna hobe, reje Radha Krishna habe. We will get Radha Krishna by worshipping Nitai. So when I came to Vrindavan like 30 years ago, someone told me, one devotee said, if you have any problem, go to Balarāma. And he will help you. And I have that experience. Many times I had problems, and I went to Balarāma, and very quickly solutions came. And so we can pray for spiritual strength from Balarāma. Also, one thing I would like to conclude with is that it's very, very important that here we are in Balarāma, here we are in Vrindavan, and we need to strengthen our faith. Now, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami has given us 3 ways that we can strengthen our faith. The first thing is to improve our sadhana. The sadhana is the most important thing. It's our protection. Vishujan Maharaj used to say, you chant your 16 rounds, and you're protected from Maya. And if you don't chant your 16 rounds, watch out. So yeah, we have to improve our sadhana. And yesterday I was listening to Maharaj Sachinand Swami, and he was saying we are taking our Kartik vows, and he said more important than increasing our rounds is to have more quality, more attention, more emotion. That's more important. Now, the first thing, improve your sadhana. Second thing, pray for bhakti with taste. Because often we just do it, you turn on the tape recorder, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, yeah, yeah. And there was one story that there was one new bhakta, brahmachari, and he was so tired he had to sleep during japa. So he would chant in his room, and the window would be open, and he took a tape of himself chanting, and he put the tape on, so in case any authority would come, they would think, oh, he's chanting, and he would go to sleep. One time they found him out, but yeah, not mechanical, not just put on the tape recorder and start chanting. So pray for bhakti with taste. And the third thing that will help you increase your faith, and this has increased my faith very much, take a risk for Krishna. Do something out of your comfort zone for Krishna, for Balarāma. So I had this experience about 10 years ago. I travel alone, I have these big suitcases, and I can't really manage it. I always have to get someone to help me. And so I landed at Gatwick Airport. No one was there to meet me. And it was a 2.5-hour train ride to Bhaktivedanta Manor. I was going to stay outside near the manor. And that was the time before I had a cell phone too. I didn't have a cell phone. And so I didn't know. I couldn't figure out the schedule, the train. So I just went up to some stranger and I said, I want to go to Watford. What train should I take? And he told me, okay, you take this one, you have to change trains, and then you go on another train. I said, okay, can I borrow your phone and call my friend who's going to pick me up? And so he said, okay. And so I phoned up and I said, okay, I'm going to arrive this such and such time. Please be there to pick me up. Went on the train. Then 10:30 at night, I got off the train. I was the only one getting out of my car, of the train. I didn't see it. I had big luggage, small luggage, heavy purse, So no one was there. And then there was these huge stairs. I said, no way I'm going to go up those stairs. And down again. And the person on the other side had a back problem, couldn't help me. So then I was just standing there. And then just all of a sudden, 2 young boys came up, and one was black and one was white. And they came up to me and they said, you're not from here, are you? I said, no. And they said, can we help you with your luggage? Oh, I said, yes. And then they took me down to the car. And then I went to this devotee's house. She had Krishna Balarāma deities there. And I thought, okay, they're just reminding me, we got you covered, don't worry. So if you take a risk for Krishna, he's got you covered. And don't worry, you can do it. You don't think, oh, I'm too low, I don't have qualification. Just do it, don't make excuses, don't think. It's not up to you because you're not doing it, you're the instrument. And Krishna's doing it through you. Krishna's doing it through you. And so this is really important that we be nice instruments of Krishna and pray for the empowerment from Balarāma, Krishna Balarāma. So I will stop here. If you have any questions, comments, you can ask at this point. Panchagoda's not here. Okay, over here. Oh, is somebody over there? You have a question? I didn't see him.
Thank you very much. I stated 3 things to do or create. First, to sadhana.
Yeah.
Last one, take this for Krishna.
Yeah.
So how do you describe it? What is number 2 item?
Number 2 is pray for bhakti with taste.
Pray for
Bhakti with taste. Taste, yeah, because we do things mechanically. All right, yeah, over there.
Mataji, could you explain, just a few things actually, going back to front. You mentioned that Lord Chaitanya got into the mood of Lord Balarāma. I thought that was quite fascinating. Not Lord Nityananda, but Lord Chaitanya. Could you speak a little bit more about that, elaborate?
Well, Lord Chaitanya, when Krishna comes, when Lord Chaitanya comes, all the incarnations come with them. They're with him, they're inside him. So Lord Chaitanya, sometimes he would be in the mood of Nishingadev. And he was running down the streets, trying to catch everyone. Everyone was running away from him because they were so scared. And then somebody pacified him. One time he was in the mood of Varaha. And so he got in different moods. So and that's what the incarnations are. They're just Krishna in different moods. And when he wants to be a perfect king, he's Ram. Then you see him as Ram. Yes. When he wants to protect his devotees and destroy the demons, you see him as Nishingadev. And he appears like that. In Mayapur, there was one devotee, his father came. He said, I can't believe that Lord Nishinga is the same as Madhava. I can't believe it. So he said, okay, come for the Abhishek of Nishingadev. So the father came for the Abhishek of Nishingadev. And while he was watching Nishingadev's face changed to Madhava's. And he looked at Madhava and he saw Nishingadev's face over there. And he kept looking back and forth. He said, which is which? And then he understood, okay, they're the same. They're actually the same. Madhava is Nishingadev, Nishingadev is Madhava. And yes, so that's the tattva. So Lord Chaitanya can be Balarāma. Not only he can be Balarāma. One time he was in a drama and he took the parts of all Lakshmi, Rukmini, Radharani, and all the female. And he told the devotees that now if you're gonna get in Maya, then don't come to the drama. So Advaita said, well, I can't come. So Lord Chaitanya said, okay, I give you all protection that you won't fall down. Like Lord Shiva, he ran after Mohini Murti. And so Lord Chaitanya danced, and even his own mother didn't recognize him. She thought, oh, this is Lakshmi. And so Lord Chaitanya, because he's Krishna and everything, all the incarnations, all the energies are coming from him, so he can be in that mood as he likes. Any other? Yes, over here. Oh, Brother Hare Krishna. Oh, okay, after.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For connecting in Harikatha.
You mentioned about having unflinching faith. So, I like to add to your.
Oh, thank you.
Please excuse me for this.
No, it's
but
welcome.
by associating with devotees who have unflinching faith,
yes,
we get unflinching faith.
Okay, very
because
good.
We see in the whole of Bhagavatam, and practically also we have seen in our lives also, that when we associate with devotees who have unflinching faith, we have received unflinching faith. And yes, all other things like sadhana, our prayers, and that things are helping. But the main aspect is what I understand is sadhu sangha.
Sadhu sangha.
Is sadhu sangha.
Yes.
Unless we have that, all these things will not work.
That's right.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, very, very important. Sadhu sangha. And that's the most difficult separation is separation from devotees. That's the most painful type of suffering in this world, according to Ramananda Roy, is separation from devotees. And so if you're separated from devotees, then you're suffering the most. Any other questions or comments? Yes. And then you. Yeah.
Mataji, there is a debate goes on. On one hand, we have Prabhupada's clear instruction that after a certain age, crossing 50 or 60, one should stay in Vrindavan. Older people. On the other hand, I'm talking about even my own personal case, where my wife feels that we should not stay more than 3 days in Vrindavan. So, okay. On one hand, after a certain age, after we cross 50 or 60, we should permanently stay in Vrindavan.
And
on the other hand, there are a lot of people, including my own wife, who feel that we should not stay more than 3 days in Vrindavan. Because anything you do in Vrindavan, you get 1,000 times more multiplied. So what are Prabhupada's instruction, concluding instruction on this topic?
Well, about the 1,000 times, there is a verse in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. I can't remember the verse, but Srila Prabhupada talks about that 1,000 times improved. And he said, all the temples all over the world are also Vrindavan, and you can get the 1,000 times there too. That is, so in one sense, your wife is correct. In one sense, the wife is correct, that you don't, but of course, we do like to stay in Vrindavan, because the more you stay in Vrindavan also, the more you get closer to Krishna, and you feel that. It takes an advanced person to feel Vrindavan out of Vrindavan also. Although Prabhupada, he had Vrindavan in his heart, and so he placed it everywhere. And advanced devotees can also feel that. But for those who are not so advanced, and Prabhupada did want us to come for the festivals. He did want everyone to come once a year to Vrindavan Mayapur. He did want that. So that's there. So, festival is more than 3 days, so that's okay. Yeah. She just make sure you go back, that's all. And don't stay. You lose your heart in Vrindavan. Okay, over here. Gordon.
So Mataji, I have a few questions if there are no other questions, otherwise
you can ask one and then we'll
ask
see.
one, yeah. So, could you elaborate a bit? I thought it was really interesting when Vaisheshika Prabhu also mentioned that, and you did as well, about Balarāma could see that the moon had elongated. Could you more into that?
I can't elaborate because I've never experienced being intoxicated like that. But that's what Rupa Goswami says.
Oh, he was actually looking at the moon, and he thought it was
full moon. Like full moon,
okay,
and then
that's okay.
It becomes like
no, I just thought differently.
Yeah. What I take it is it's a full moon, and it became like a rectangle.
Oh, I thought he was looking at Krishna and thinking he's the moon and he's elongated. Sorry, just
no. Balarāma said that. Why is the moon elongated?
The other thing was in the purport. I just need a second. In the purport, it says that each night was a completely new experience, and all the nights passed as if they were a single night. I mean, they kind of seem a little not contradictory, but then also how every night was a new experience.
Yeah, because in the spiritual world, nothing is dull. Every time something happens in the day, it's like it's a new thing that's happening. Just like Radharani, she never makes the same thing for Krishna. It's always something different. And she's been cooking for eternity, and she will cook for eternity, but it's never the same preparation. And so, and also the love is increasing, so you see it differently. Yeah, and how it became one night, when you're enjoying, the time goes fast. And he was there 2 months, but he was enjoying. The 2 months seemed like only one night because, it happens. Of course, when you're suffering, time seems very long. When you're suffering, it's, oh my God, when is the night going to finish? And the pain going to go away? And when you're enjoying, it's like, oh, where did the time go? You even forget the time. You might forget the time when you're having a good time. When you're enjoying, then the time goes really fast. Okay, any other questions? I think she needs help.
Radhe Radhe Mataji. Pardon me if I'm saying something wrong, but I've just recently had my Krishna calling. I was living my mundane life, have a job. I just want to know if you have any tips for a new beginner, because I know the life or the path of enlightenment would be difficult.
I can't understand it.
Sorry, I'm asking you if you can give us some tips. Give us some tips for a new beginner. I've just recently had my Krishna calling, and I know the path of enlightenment would be difficult. I want to maintain a job and take care of my family, but if you can just help us, give us some tips, please. Thank you.
Okay, so you're asking for tips how to balance your spiritual life and your material life. It sounds like to me. That's your question. Well, if you start the first thing in the morning with your spiritual life, start your chanting, then your day will go very nicely. It will help. It'll be helpful. If you start, try to chant as much as you can before the job, before the family and everything. When I had my baby, I used to get up at 2:30 in the morning to chant. And then I would bring him to Mangalarti so he would sleep in the day, and then I could chant and do my service. And so, yes, you think. And then while he was feeding, I would chant also. While he was feeding the whole day, he was a very big baby. So he would feed the whole day. Just try to put your spiritual life first thing in the morning, and then your day will go easier. Because your mind will be peaceful, you'll be able to think more clearly, and that will be very helpful. Okay, any other questions? We have the same two. We have same two people are asking. That's okay, we got time. I think, what's the time? 10 to 9. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, one practical conflict which needs to be resolved, and if you can kindly enlighten with Srila Prabhupada's instructions. On one hand, as a grihastha, we are supposed to have our deities at home to worship and advance spiritually. Okay. On the other hand, we have a temple program.
Right.
Begins at 4, 9 o'clock we finish the class.
Yeah.
So how do we balance the two, taking care of especially in light of, let's say, coming to Kartik in Vrindavan?
How do you balance deities at home and deities in the temple? And if you go away from your deities and come here?
For a month, let's say, come to Vrindavan.
For a month.
What do we do for our deities at home then?
And your deities are at home. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada did address that question. Srila Prabhupada did give an answer. He said the deities in the temple come first. They're the first priority. And especially if you live near the temple. If you live near the temple deities are priority. If you're a little distant from the temple, then your house deities are priority. If it's difficult to come to the temple, house deities are priority. And yes, so that was what Prabhupada how he answered that question. And
Thank you.
Okay, any other? Oh, okay, we got one over here.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the very nice class. So, Mataji, when we go on now we'll go on yatra. So I carry my Giriraj Baba with me and photo of my Jagannath, Subhadrama, Balarāma. So it's because my Jagannath, Subhadrama, Balarāma are big. So it's okay if I go and just serve them, some fruits and water and sweet and for yatra.
So you're leaving some deities somewhere, and you give them some sweet and leave them? Is that what you're saying?
No. If I'm going on parikrama.
Out, okay.
Yeah, so I'll just take their photos.
Yeah.
And, or should I put Jagannath in somebody's house because they're big, everyone has small.
It's better to put, when I go to the West, I just bring my small deity, my small Giriraj, and the rest I give to a babysitter, and they take care of my deities. They get everything. They get all their meals. And
so
everything.
I should give them to,
Yes, best. Better.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, any other Questions? Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Actually, Prabhupada said in Los Angeles, where the temple's on one side of the street and most of the buildings on the other side of the street, directly, he discouraged us from having deities. He said we should not have deities because the time that we spend with our deities, it takes away from the services to the deities in the temple.
Okay.
So in those days we were still doing all the clothes ourselves.
Right.
Now we have a lot of congregational members here too, and we're outsourcing all our deity dressmaking to others. That was not Prabhupada's idea. Prabhupada's idea was that our grihastas would be the ones that produce all the clothes and do the cooking, etc.
Okay. Yeah, so it was just an expansion of the temple, basically, living outside. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, last one.
Like you said, that's better you put Jagannath in some devotee's house. But also, we've been told by our counselors, like if you're going on yatra, parikrama, like put them to sleep and just leave some dry fruits and water. So
I would say that's the last resort.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Last resort is put them to sleep. If you put them to sleep, that means you have to do mental puja every day, but what they're missing. All during the day, whatever you give them at home, you have to give them.
So if you take their photo and go? No. Their photos, frame.
Yeah, take their photos and do the puja in your mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Jai, all glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Jai Nartaki Ma.
Haribol.
Ki Jai.